15 years was such a long time ago. Look at us. We were babies.
We're still babies.
Very old babies. Today we are making MISOYAKI butterfish from the Aloha Cookbook. This is another redemption from somebody from our Twitch community. This time it is coming from Blacklash. You are probably going to see us cook a lot of recipes from this cookbook, not only because everything looks amazing, but also because there is a lot of overlap between the recipes in this cookbook and the recipes that I grew up with as a Japanese American. There's so many things in here that's just like, oh, I know that, I've had that. Oh, I forgot about that. Beef teriyaki, somen salad, manju, all of them are recipes that I grew up with, and they all look pretty similar to my childhood recipes. But today we are making something that I didn't grow up with, MISOYAKI butterfish. Back when Son and I were practically babies, I mean anything from the beginning of our relationship seems like forever and ever and ever ago, we took a trip to Hawaii. This was our first big trip of our relationship, about 3 years in, right after I graduated from college, and we decided to go to Hawaii. It was our first big foodie trip. First time ever having ramen, first time ever having poke, first time really getting dressed up to go to fancy-ish restaurants. So it was kind of a big deal for us. He even got me this and made me wear it for the entire trip. I still have it. A couple of the nicer restaurants that we went to had MISOYAKI butterfish on the menu. And this was the first time we ever tried it, and we totally fell in love, and I've been wanting to replicate it ever since. Now I have made miso black cod at home a few times over the years, and we always enjoyed it. And I was looking at the ingredients for this recipe, and in the top it says, there's no such thing as butterfish. What they actually use is miso black cod. This entire time I was making MISOYAKI butterfish and I didn't even know it. This MISOYAKI butterfish recipe is super easy to make. The most time-consuming part of it is making the sauce. You start with brown sugar for a bit more depth than white sugar would have, but not so opinionated of a flavor as honey or maple syrup. Next, miso, a paste made of fermented soybeans, salt, and koji, which is a type of fungi. And random question, do you say fungi or fungi?
Fungi.
You would. We ran out of our normal cooking sake, and I haven't quite been daring or desperate enough to go out to a real supermarket again since lockdown started. We were lucky enough to find this fancy bottle of sake in the back of our wine fridge, and we don't really drink, so I don't really know why we have it. I think we probably got it at one point when we were like, hey, we should try sake. It would be a good thing to try, and then we never actually tried it. So I'm being a little fancy here, but you can just use normal cooking sake. You don't have to use the fancy stuff. You probably shouldn't use the fancy stuff. You should be drinking the fancy stuff. But that's all we've got right now, so I'm using the fancy stuff. Aji mirin is another type of rice wine, but it's sweeter than sake is. So since it's got a higher sugar content, it's often added to things for sweetness. Then we add rice vinegar for just a little bit of tang. And then a little bit of shoyu, which is Japanese soy sauce. Lastly, peel a little bit of ginger. I like to use a spoon for it because it peels off the skin really easily without getting rid of so much of the actual ginger, which you usually lose a lot if you use a knife or a peeler. And then grate it into the pot with all of the other ingredients that we just added. I like to use a microplane, but most any grater should be okay. And then just simmer that all together for about an hour. Now all you really need to do is marinate the black cod in the sauce for a few days. So I put it in the Ziploc, but then I also like to have that in a sturdy container so that there's no risk of it accidentally spilling all over your fridge. And you just turn it every couple of days, or rather every day. Just turn it over, turn it over, turn it over. Easy. Last thing you do when you're ready to cook it is just take it out of the fridge, let it sit for a little bit, and then broil it for like 10 minutes until you start to see the edges just blacken a little bit. And then your MISOYAKI butterfish is ready to eat. The MISOYAKI is looking sweet. Sun's here and's ready to eat.
It's tea time. Tasting. I was having so much trouble. I just
we don't
abbreviate.
just use tea time for tea or golf.
Tea time.
It's tea time.
Yes. So anyways, awesome. Let's
All right, so the MISOYAKI butterfish, you eat it over rice and you top it with that furikake nori that we made in the last video. And you can also serve it with steamed vegetables, stuff like that. We don't have any, so we're just going with the butterfish over rice.
Are you saying that you can serve the rice, the fish with the steamed vegetable? What kind of steamed vegetable are we talking about here?
Like bok choy or snap peas.
Just steam? Yeah. What about like wok?
I mean, you could.
You can always do that, right? But yeah, I can see that though, because I think that, well, like you said, it's funny because I forgot this is what we ate on our trip to when we went to. I think this is
a very long time
That's
ago.
how we got introduced to this this dish, right?
First
And
time
it was like the mind blowing.
He was just like, "This is the best thing I've ever had."
It's at Roy's, right? Roy's.
I think we had it at 2 places. Roy's was one of them.
Yes, but that's where we got introduced to this, and it's just mind blowing. It's like we have to recreate this.
And then we never realized that we did because we never knew that.
I still didn't know until I was
black cod
recording the intro and your instruction. I'm like, oh, so there's no such thing as butterfish at all?
So the thing with butterfish is sometimes restaurants will serve escolar as butterfish, which is not a good thing. I'm not 100% sure why, but it's not a good fish to eat.
Yeah.
Apparently. But most of the time when you see butterfish on the menu, it's black cod.
Oh, yes.
Also known as Pacific sablefish.
Stable or sable?
Sable.
I see. All right, let's taste it. Let's taste it, and then we can discuss more.
Would you like
Wait, why do I
take
have
the
to?
honors?
No,
I
will, Allison. I will prove the internet that they're wrong. That I am actually a good feeder. I'm a good feeder. Open now. I'm gonna stab you. See, look, that's amazing, right? No rice being dropped. No rice grain was harmed in the production. Well,
they are all broken.
Yeah,
so technically, they were all harmed.
They're pre-harmed, so we don't have to do the harm.
Okay, this is really good. You can taste the ginger.
Yes,
it's quite gingery.
I taste the ginger.
You can taste the ginger. You can taste the miso, but it's not overwhelmingly miso.
Yes.
It doesn't taste super, super salty. You can tell that there's sake in there.
Yes.
Sake in the mirin.
I like it.
You got that little hint of, kind of like if you put wine in a dish, you can kind of have that like little alcoholic taste, but not like you're gonna get drunk off of it or anything. But it just adds that little je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. That's one of my favorite phrases. Also. Je ne sais quoi. I don't even know what it means. I just like to sound sophisticated. But I like...
Little does he know. He just said what it means.
The taste flavor or the taste profile is so complex. There's so many things going on.
It's complex, but also very balanced.
This is very balanced too,
and the furikake on top.
Yes. If you want to know how to make that, check out the previous video. But yeah, that adds a little sesame seed, the little earthiness to the whole picture. It adds a little bit more savory and a little bit sweet too because of the furikake. I really enjoy it.
It's
really,
very rich. So
Yes.
serving it with the steamed vegetables
I can see
would
that.
be a great,
I can
a
see
great way
that.
to eat it. Because woked vegetables might actually be too heavy.
You're right.
Like you want that lightness of just the steamed veggies without the fattiness or the heavier flavors of a wok.
It's so complex. There's so many flavors going on.
And also
It's like a party in your mouth.
what I really love about this one, well, a couple of things. First, it's kind of cured. So it acts a lot like cured fish because it was in the fridge for 3 days.
Yes.
So it was curing in that marinade. But the other thing I really love is that you marinate it, but then you discard the marinade. All of the other times I've made miso black cod, it's always been make this sauce and slather it on top and stick it in the oven.
Yeah.
So it's super, super salty.
That's why
and
it's
very,
so salty.
very miso. Yeah, because you're just directly eating the miso. Whereas this, all of the flavors permeate the fish, but then you don't have that just like kick in your face of you're eating a ton of miso all at once.
So the key to anyone want to make this at home is
Let the marinade drip off and don't add more marinade to the dish when you're cooking.
So when you say it's cured, it is. You're right. It is a little bit tougher than I imagine. You know, like if you broil
it's
fish.
not like fresh fish where it's super flaky and soft.
Yeah, but this is
it's
a little bit more.
More solid.
Yeah, it's more solid, more meaty.
And it makes me think of a cured fish, and I think it's because of
Put this
like the
in between,
miso
like
and everything.
make like a burger. That would be good, like a burger,
This in a sandwich or something?
MISOYAKI burger. Oh, that would be good. I can imagine. It's so meaty. It's like a patty. So the question I have for you is, I remember in Hawaii, it was flaky.
Probably.
It was flaky. It was a little bit more fresh. And do you think it's because we did not get fresh enough fish, or do you think it's because we have in the fridge longer and it's cured more? Which one do you think is the problem? Because I remember cure more. Okay, so maybe the one that we had in Hawaii, so maybe they marinated
and
less.
Also, keep in mind there are a lot of different recipes for this.
I see.
Because this is a ginger misoyaki butterfish.
I see. It's not the.
So like the ginger is not in every recipe, or at least not this strong.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of recipes that are more like the ones that I've previously made that are not cured.
Yeah.
And then this one is actually marinated for a long time. So it's very possible it was a completely different recipe.
Yeah, different style, a little bit different. But yeah, this is from the Aloha Cookbook, right?
Yes.
Yes, so we're gonna be
I'm
doing.
very excited about this.
Yeah, you asked me to look through it to figure out which one we're making.
He's like, can you just make everything?
Just make everything. Loco Moco, yes, check. You know.
The Loco Moco's in the plans.
Yes.
We'll be making some spam fried rice.
Yes.
I think we're gonna do a plate lunch with the mac salad and
plate lunch.
You know the Hawaiian plate lunch.
Mac
salad
yeah.
And rice and
the typical
and some sort of meat.
Yeah, the typical
when
thing
you go
have
to any Hawaiian restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the plate lunch. So we're gonna make the mac salad. We're gonna make the shoyu chicken.
Yeah.
For that, we might even make some manju, which is a dessert that's filled with the azuki beans, the pie crust manju. It's like my mom makes this.
I love this.
I know you do. So do I. That's why I'm making them.
5 of them at the same time.
That's why I'm making them.
I can totally do chubby bunny with them. And then just swallow them all.
Please don't die.
Not spit them all. But yeah, so make sure if you enjoy it, make sure you like the video. You know what? This is so flavorful. It tastes so good. It's so complex. I don't think it needs fish sauce anymore. But I'm gonna go get some fish sauce anyway. Bye-bye! Ow!
A huge thanks to all of our Patreon subs. And if you want to help support our channel and help us make more videos, you can become a patron as well. We are at patreon.com/sushiday, and I will leave a link below if you want to become a patron. If you are not yet subbed to our channel, and you want to see more of what we make from the Aloha Cookbook, you can hit that sub button and like this video because it does help our little channel grow. And if you want to see more of the recipes we've made, you can check out that playlist right over there. And if you want to get that furikake recipe and you haven't made it yet, you can see the video right here. We'll see you next time.
Allison, I found fish sauce.